Welcome back to another video. I've got the Seeker 2 LED torch in from Olight and they've sent this in, so I thought I'd do a really quick unboxing just to give us an overview and an idea of the light. I am planning to do a comparison with this later on. A couple of things I noticed on this is the power output is slightly lower than the Seeker 2 Pro. Newer packaging on the Olight is easier to get into. You have the magnetic flap. Just some basic information on there about charging. Don't forget to remove the tab on the back once you unscrew the base cap, because you'll need to do that to charge the battery. First thing I notice is the finishing. It's almost like a powder finish. It's very matte and it does have a bit of grip to it, and that was a concern because with the Pro version they had that silicone grips on either side that was stuck on, and that gave you really good grip on the torch. But with this, I looked at it and it looked very smooth. There's no knurling. But in the person, the finishing seems to offer a reasonable amount of grip. 3 LEDs on this, not sure what they are. I believe that they are Osram, and I checked online. They have a blue version of this. It's quite a funky coloured blue, and it does state Osram in the LEDs. So we'll have to see what the difference between this and the Pro is when I do a comparison. There's your contact at the top for the magnetic charging, and you also have a hole there where you can put the wrist strap through if you want to attach that. For some reason they didn't include one in the Pro. That's a strange omission, but they do with this. Just giving you a closer up look, we've got the grooves in the head and just around the side of the power switch. I do quite like the finishing on this. I probably would have added some grooves to it on the side part between the contoured part where you put your fingers, but we'll try out some gloves later on to see if it's grippy enough out and about using it. Just unscrew the base cap now. Olight are pretty good with greasing up the threads. Every one that I've ever had has had grease threads, and there's your contact points at the bottom. Battery on this one is the same as in the Pro, so they've got the 21700 5000 milliamp hour, and you have the positive and negative on one side of the battery. I have shared my thoughts on custom batteries before, so I won't repeat them too often, but at least you can use normal cells, but you can't charge them in the torch. There's your contact points in the head, gold plated as per usual, and just another shot showing you the inner tube is quite thick on this, so it's unlikely to get dented easily. This just arrived today, so I'm just doing the unboxing. I haven't had a chance to do any sort of tests or anything like that. There are, apart from the physical differences between this and the Pro, they've moved the power indicator to under the main switch. You had those LEDs on the side for the power level, and you also had them for the power output, but they put it back into the switch. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that myself. You have the green, amber and red, gives you your low power warning. Whilst I take out some of the other stuff, I assume they've done this to make it slightly different to the Pro version, and possibly to save a little bit of money in terms of cost, because this is cheaper. It's far from a cheap torch. It's about £110 I think, but it's about £30 less than the Pro version. Just slide out the other included accessories. The first thing I noticed is that Olight have changed the colour of the wrist strap. Instead of just black plastic, they've gone with a sort of blue coloured. It reminds me of the Fender Lake Placid blue, which I saw on a guitar once. It's sort of a light coloured blue, pretty small change, but it looks okay to me. There's your pin on the strap. There's a magnetic charging cable. This one is the faster speed. They quote an amp. I can't get an amp out of these magnetic chargers myself, and I tried with the other versions, but they are a bit quicker than the standard one. You can of course still use the normal charger with this. It's going to take quite a while because it's a fairly high capacity battery. Quick look through the user guide. Not too much here as far as surprises go, and from playing around with it for a few minutes, interface is basically the same as the other Olight torches in terms of the single push on and off, and then push and hold to cycle through the power levels. So what I need to do is have a little play around with this myself and do a few tests. I'm also planning to do a comparison with the Seeker 2 Pro, but I'm waiting for Olight to send me one, because the one I had a few months ago, I gave it to someone and I can't get it back easily for testing, so they're going to send out another one and I'll do a comparison with the two of these lights. Not expecting a big difference between them. The design and things like that, the packaging, you don't get a holster with this, which you do in the Pro, so really it's going to be down to what you're looking for. I'd be interested to hear what you think on this though. If you think that the Pro was a good light, or if you think this one might be more attractive or appealing for you. Thanks for watching. Do stick around, I'll be making that video when the next light turns up, and I'll see you soon.